The monster is coming out in me. In me right now. In me.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Abby here from Marley Magazine, and I'm hanging out with Pete and David from the Glazzies. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm doing great, thanks. So we're here at the Stephen Talkhouse in Amagansett, and you guys have played here before, but how excited are you guys to be back?
Pretty excited. We're playing some new stuff that's going to be on the new album, so we're kind of road testing that out before we play at other venues and stuff. And it's always good to come back. Seems like 1,000 times we played here. Not literally, but
It's home.
yeah, it's a hometown venue. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
Familiar crowd,
Yeah.
familiar stage.
yeah, exactly. So we always have a fun time.
That's great. So what should people expect when they come out to one of your shows, or how would you describe your live set?
A ton of energy. Pretty loud. I think definitely something unique, just since it's the two of us, like guitar and drums. But yeah, definitely rock. If you like rock, you'll like the set. Yeah.
All right. So if you guys could play a show anywhere in the world, where would your dream show be?
Yeah.
Japan's pretty cool.
Japan.
I've always wanted to go to Australia.
I don't really have particular venues or anything.
Yeah, I definitely have bands, like certain bands, like Foo Fighters would be pretty awesome.
Oh, to tour
Like,
with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I have lists like that. Like,
Oh, so if you could play a show with any band, dead or alive, let's put that out there. Who would be your
Zeppelin
dream
would be
show?
pretty cool. That's just off the top of my
okay.
head. I don't know if that would go well on a bill, but that would
I have
just
to
be
think
fun
about
to
that,
watch.
but I'm sure there's a bunch of bands that I would love to play with.
Absolutely. So you released your debut EP, Coming Clean, back in 2011,
Yeah,
and then Time Bomb Love a year later.
yeah.
So what would you say is like the biggest differences between those two releases? How would you say your sound had changed or matured over the years?
Well, the first EP, Dave actually wasn't on either of those albums. So that was right after Dave left the band for a brief short time. So I went in and did a couple of songs that we had written, just like kind of like rough recordings. And then two of the songs from that EP made it onto Time Bomb Love. And then at that time I had a bass player in the band, and so he played bass and I recorded all the drums and guitars and vocals and stuff. But the difference, I definitely think Time Bomb Love sonically sounds like a bit bigger. It also has more songs on the album. Yeah, they're just different. Like usually with bands, their first EP is like a bit rough. You know, it's like testing the waters, so to speak. And then the first album, you kind of definitely know what the sound of the band is going to be like. So, but I mean, personally, me listening to it, I can hear a lot of difference like that. Normally, like maybe an audience wouldn't necessarily hear, but just like stuff
Oh yeah,
that I
I'm
play.
sure putting it all together yourself, you hear.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
little-
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome. So how would you describe your sound if you could describe it all together with one word? Describe your the complete package with one word.
I'll leave this to you.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
It's a hard question.
To make or break
I would just say energy, maybe energy.
Okay.
Yeah, just because we're definitely a live band, so I think like recordings. Difference between recording and live. Obviously, recording you can put like a ton of guitars on a song or like make it sound like pristine and perfect. But we don't really do that in recording either. But definitely a live band. I think, like I was saying earlier, if you come to a show, you're definitely going to see something unique because it's just the two of us right now, and maybe a bass player in the future. But for right now, it's just us two, and trying to keep it stripped down and pretty raw. So I'd say raw or energy are good words.
Good one.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your biggest musical inspiration as a band?
As a band, I don't know, that's tough.
Or just individually you could do.
Honestly, I would say the Mars Volta for me is their drummer is just crazy. He goes into like such ridiculous time signatures and just manages to hop right back on a beat anytime. So it's like I really admire people who can like think like that musically, but that definitely doesn't influence our band. Our band is very far from Mars Volta.
Yeah, I'd say personally, guys like Dave Grohl and Jack White, guys that guitar players that were drummers first. I was a drummer first before I started playing guitar, so I think guys like that who can kind of do it all and like write songs, and I think guys like that are pretty cool. Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age is also like that. So just kind of guys like that, but also like certain drummers that John Bonham, John Theodore is pretty awesome. That's what Dave was talking about. Just, yeah. Definitely, you know, a lot of influences that don't necessarily, you know, because a lot of people can kind of pin our sound to like Nirvana or the Vines or bands like that, but we're not necessarily, we don't always listen to those bands all the time. But it's just what we like to play live. So, yeah, it's all different.
So how did you guys get started in music and playing your respective instruments?
Actually, Peter got me into the drums because Peter plays the drums, and
Yeah, we were like
we were friends.
8
you know,
years old.
something like that.
Wow,
And,
that's a long time.
Well, yeah, and I started when I was, I think, around like 9 or 10, like right after that. And I remember I got a free drum lesson from this local music store that was in our town. And I just got that one lesson. My mom wouldn't let me use it, and then Christmas came around, I got a drum set. And ever since then, I've been playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a lot of fun.
I started drums when I was 7 years old. I heard the Chili Peppers, and I was just like, that's it. You know, I want to do that. And then yeah, Dave and I became friends when we were like little kids, and I was like, man, you should play drums. It's pretty fun. And then we would put on like Green Day records and be like, oh, I can play this song. Can you play this song? And we would kind of just be like, shit, he knows that one. Like, I gotta
Repeat back and forth, and we'd play like My Chemical Romance songs and something like that.
Yeah, just like stuff we were into at the time, but it, you know, built up our chops and our music interests and stuff. So yeah, it's funny looking back on it.
Walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're fresh into 2014. What is the rest of the year looking like for you guys?
Right now, I just was in the studio actually this week finishing the second album. So we're releasing that hopefully I'd like to say in the summer, but it might be beginning of fall. Definitely some more touring and shows, and you know, just playing a lot of shows in New York. We're going to be booking some bigger shows in New York City and stuff, and you know, there's talk of us, you know, maybe going overseas in fall or winter and stuff like that. But right now, you know, we're just, you know, because we haven't played together actually in a couple of years, so right now we're just kind of focusing on getting tighter as a band and writing and learning all the new songs. And then once the new album's out, we'll definitely be playing a lot more. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So where can people find you online or check out your stuff? And
they can check us out on Facebook.com/the Glazzies. We're on Instagram and Twitter at the Glazzies, and then Time Bomb Love is also available on Bandcamp. So that's theglazzies.bandcamp.com.
all right, great. All right, so I always love to end off with the same question, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and that's, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? Do anything, and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do?
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, you know, I think just tour a lot. I think like if that would be my thing. If we knew like we would not be broke, or like we had like not rich, but know that like we would go to a place, and even if no one was there or something, like the next day we're like, oh, we're fine, we got gas money, we can get there, you know? I think just...
Although a crowd would be nice.
Yeah, a crowd would be great. But I think that would be cool, just knowing that, you know, you don't really have, like, you just have to focus on what you're playing and, you know, where you're playing and, like, that kind of stuff.
Just kind of was, like, laid out.
Yeah, or, like, not have to...
Places.
Because I think bands nowadays, especially bands at our stage, like, indie bands that don't have any management or labels yet, you kind of have to be your own business person in a way. So I think sometimes, like if you think about the amount of times you're actually promoting your band and being a businessman to yourself, whereas like the 40 minutes you're on stage maybe like 3 times a week, it's a lot. So I think maybe taking that out of the equation and just having to play would be cool. Not fail. No politics, I guess.
Alright,
Might have been rambling on that.
it's all good. So I know you guys got to get to your show, but thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me.
Yeah, thank
Everyone
you.
check out the Glazzies and subscribe to our channel for more interviews. See you guys later. Thank you so much.